want to hear a story? Do you want to hear a story? Stories from around the world.
Excuse me. Why are you running in the heat of the day?
When the children hear the rhythm of the drum.
Sisters! Curse your eyes, boy. You have no heart.
Zindabad, Maharaj Vikram. Down came the great god, and he knocked one of his teeth out.
Oh, is that funny little chick at the end?
Once there was a poor lad called Marek. He was living with his mother, but his mother died, and so he found himself all alone in the world. And he went wandering in search of a new life, a new job. And one day he came to the edge of a deep, dark forest, an old forest full of birches and beech and oak. And on the edge of the forest there was a house, small but comfortable looking. And sitting outside the house there was an old, old man, thin as a stick, with white hair and a scrap of beard like a piece of cloud. And Marek could hear goats bleating in a shed beside the house. And the old man was saying, "Oh, my girls, you break my heart with your bleating, but I can't take you to pasture. Not today, not ever again." And when Marek got closer, he could see why this was. The old man had no eyes, just black, empty eye sockets where the eyes should have been. And the rims of the eyes were raw and ragged, as if the eyes had been ripped from his head. Well, Marek went a little closer, and the old man said, "Who is it? Who's there?" And Marek said, "It's just me. I'm a poor lad. I'm called Marek. I've been wandering this world trying to find somewhere I can be of use. And I think I might have found it here with you. Oh, uncle, I can look after your house for you. I can make you a meal in the evening. I can take your goats to pasture. What do you say?" And the old man said, "I would say you're a gift from heaven above. Oh, lad, can you take my girls to pasture now, because they haven't been out since?" And he said no more, but he didn't need to. His hands were telling a story all on their own. And Marek went and he cut himself a good stout stick, and he was just about to set the goats out of the shed when the old man said, Now, lad, listen to me. Promise me something. Promise me you'll stay safe in the pasture. You won't go into the forest." "Yeah," said Marek, "I'll promise you that, but why?" "Because," said the old man, "in the forest there are witch maidens, and they're evil. They will enchant you. They will cast a cloak of sleep over you, and then they will steal away your eyes." "You're making this up," said Marek. "This is a fairy tale. There are no such things as witches in the world." "Oh, lad, said the old man, "will you listen to yourself? Do you not believe the truth when it's staring you in the face? Do you think I ripped out my own eyes? Promise me you won't go into the forest." And Marek said, I promise you. I'll stay in the pasture, if that's what you want." And Marek went, And he let the goats out of the shed, and he took them to pasture. And he took them the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. But on the next day, it was hot, so hot. The sun was shining in the sky like a happy pancake, not a cloud to be seen for miles around. And as Marek went past the forest, it looked cool, very inviting, full of shadows. And just a little way into the forest he could see there was a glade. And in the glade the grass was tall and green and lush, had dandelions and buttercups. Oh, said Marek, the goats would love that. He said, I'm going in. He said, I'm not scared of witches anyway. I'm going in. But just before he did go in, he took his pocket knife and he cut 3 little pieces of bramble, blackberry thorns, and he put them into the brim of his cap for luck. And then he gathered the goats and they all went into the forest. Oh, that forest glade was beautiful. The grass was deep and lush, and the scent of the wild flowers, oh, it was heavenly. Over one side of the glade there was a pool, a clear pool, very deep by the looks of things, and there were dragonflies, turquoise and jade and green. And the whole of the glade was alive with the humming of the bees and the singing of the songbirds. Such a beautiful place. And Marek sat himself down on a big fallen tree trunk and was just thinking of taking a nap when he heard singing. Do-do, 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 do-do. And there was a lovely young woman threading her way between the trees, with long, cascading, dark brown curls, dancing eyes, and she was carrying a big basket of apples. And she sat down beside him on the log, and she said, "Well, hello." She said, "You're a stranger. Haven't seen you in here before. Would you like an apple? Oh, go on, try one. They're ever so sweet." And she offered him an apple. And Marek took it and was just about to take a bite when he caught its scent, and there was a strange, sickly, sweet perfume to the apple. And suddenly it felt heavy in his hand, too heavy for an apple. And when he looked again at this lovely young woman, her eyes were black, cold like 2 polished pebbles. No, he said, "Thank you, but we have apples at home and they are sweet enough for me." And he put it back into her basket. "As you wish," said the maiden, and off she went. Do-do, 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 do. And now there was another young woman coming through the trees, singing her song, and this one was beautifully blonde, cascading golden curls. She was carrying a rose very carefully between her finger and her thumb. And she smiled at Marek and she sat down beside him She said, "Smell it, Marek. It's perfume. It's so sweet." And Marek was just about to sniff the rose when again he looked at this girl's face, and her eyes were as dark, as deep, as restless as a wild, wild ocean. And the rose didn't smell like any rose he had ever smelt before. And he said, "No, thank you, but we have roses in our own garden, and they are sweet enough for me." And in that moment, something passed across the maiden's face, a look of such cold fury that it chilled the blood in Marek's veins. "As you wish," she said, and off she went. And Marek sat there, watching and waiting, because he knew there would be another. Do-do, 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 do. And sure enough, here she was, coming between the trees. Do-do, 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 do. Do-do, do-do, do. And if the first witch had been dark and the second one was golden, well, this one was fiery, beautiful, cascading auburn curls. She came close, very, very close, and she said, "Well, look at you." She said, "You're a handsome boy, Marek. Such beautiful hair, but, oh, it's tangled and knotted. Here, let me comb those tangles for you." And she reached into the sleeve of her gown and she brought out a silver comb. And she started to comb Marek's tangled curls. Oh, and at the first touch of her fingers, he felt the enchantment washing over him. Do-do, 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 do. He knew she was bewitching him, throwing her cloak of sleep over him. Oh, but it felt so nice, such a deep, heavy, rich sleep. He could feel himself sliding into soft, secret places. But then she leaned even closer and she said, "You really are a handsome boy, Marek. Look at those eyes. Such beautiful blue eyes." And that was it. Instantly, Marek was on his feet and he reached for a piece of that bramble and he smacked her hard across the face. And instantly, the witch's power was gone. She was rooted to the spot, and that piece of bramble started to grow rapidly. It came up her legs, wrapped around her waist. She was a prisoner in a cage of brambles. And she said, "Marek," she said, "what are you doing?" She said, "Why have you caught me like this? I meant you no harm." "I think you did," said Marek. "I think you were going to steal away my eyes." "I was not," said the witch. "Whatever gave you that idea, Marek? Please, come on, set me free. Set me free. Come on, Marek. Please, please, set me free. Set me free, Marek. Set me free. Set me free, you little weasel, or I'll rip off your head and feed it to the foxes." "Oh," said Marek, "such a temper." "What if I have?"
She said, "Sisters! Curse your eyes, boy. You have no heart. Sisters! You're a scrawny little rattler of a bone box."
"Oh," said Marek, "I am not setting you free."
"But you must," she said. "Come on, set me free. The brambles, they're ripping my flesh. They're tearing me to pieces."
"No, no," said Marek, "I am not setting you free. If you want to be free, your sisters will have to do it."
"Sisters!"
said the witch again, and finally, at last, her sisters did come to help. They crept closer and closer, but they didn't want to touch. "Set her free," they said. "Marek, set our sister free." "No," he said, "I am not setting your sister free." "But we can't," they said. Our skin, it's not like yours. It'll rip the brambles. They tear our skin." "I don't care," he said. "I am not setting her free. You'll have to do it yourselves." And so the witches very carefully tried to untangle their sister. But while they were doing it, Marek got those 2 other pieces of bramble from his cap and he smacked the pair of them hard, and now they were all caught. And the brambles grew thick and deep and fast, capturing them in that cage of bramble. And then he turned to go. And they said, "Where are you going?" And he said, "I'll be back soon." And off he went, and he ran through the forest, and he went back to the house, and he got hold of the old man by the hand, and he said, "Uncle, come with me. We're going to get your eyes back." Well, he took the old man into the forest glade, and then Marek went to the first of the witches, the dark-haired one, and he said, "Now, you are going to give my uncle his eyes back." "I will not," said the witch. "Oh, I think you will," said Marek, "because if you don't, I will take you by the hair and I will drag you to that pool and I will drown you." "You wouldn't dare," said the witch. "Wouldn't I?" said Marek. "Do you want to try me? Do you feel lucky? Come on." And he took the witch, and the witch led him a little deeper into the forest, and she took him to a cave, and they went inside, and it was cold and so dark Marek couldn't even see his hand in front of his face. But it felt like he was being watched. And when his eyes grew used to the gloom, he saw that the cave was full of eyes. Thousands of eyes, blue and green and yellow and black, stacked on shelves from floor to ceiling. And there were piles of eyes on the ground, still waiting to be sorted. All kinds of eyes. Blinking, winking, wet and weary, boss-eyed, cross-eyed, pink and teary. Bright little baby eyes, salty old sailor's eyes, fish eyes, silver as spoons. "So many eyes?" said Marek. "Where are my uncles?" And the witch looked high, and the witch looked low. And she chose a pair of eyes, and she gave them to the old man, and the old man pushed them into his empty eye sockets. "Uncle," said Marek, "can you see?" "Yes," said the old man, "I can see, but I seem to be high up in the rafters of a barn, and looking down I can see mice and rats far below." "Owl eyes," said Marek. "You wicked witch!" And he grabbed hold of the witch, by a hair, and he pulled her out of the cave and through the forest and back to the glade and over to the pool. No, Marek, she said no. But he threw her into the pool, and she sank down, down, down until she was drowned. And then he went to the next witch, the golden-haired witch, and he said, now you will give my uncle his eyes back. I will not, said the witch. You are a vicious, mean mortal. Oh, you will give him his eyes, said Marek, because if you don't, I will drown you, just like your sister. Now come on. And he took the second witch through the forest, and they went back to the cave. Now, he said, where are my uncle's eyes? And the witch looked high, and the witch looked low. And she chose a pair, and she gave them to the old man. And the old man took out the owl eyes, and he put in the new ones. Uncle, said Marek, can you see? Yes, said the old man, I can. But now I can see snow and a midnight moon, and I can smell goats. Wolf eyes, said Marek. Oh, you wicked witch! And he grabbed hold of her by the hair and he dragged her out of the cave and through the forest and back to the glade and over to the pool. No, she said, no, Marek, don't! But he threw her into the pool. And she sank down, down, down until she was drowned. And then he went to the third witch, the flame-haired witch, and he said, now you will give my uncle his eyes back. Yes, she said, I will. And together they went to the cave. And Marek said, now, where are my uncle's eyes? And the witch looked high, and the witch looked low. And she chose a pair, and she gave them to the old man, and he took out the wolf eyes, and he put the new ones in. Uncle, can you see? Yes, said the old man, but now I'm in a marketplace, and I see so many baskets of things to be carried. I don't believe this, said Marek. I drown your sisters in front of you, and you dare to give him donkey's eyes. You wicked witch. No, she said, no, Marek, don't drown me. I will find the eyes. They're here. I know they're here. I've seen them. You better, said Marek. And the witch was down on her hands and knees. She was digging through the piles of eyes. She's saying, they are here. Wait, a moment. They're here. And she chose a pair of eyes and said, there, take them. And the old man took out the donkey eyes and he put in the new ones. Uncle, can you see? Yes. He said, yes, I really can see. He said, I can see the cave. And I can see you, Marek. But I can't see that witch anywhere. And neither could Marek. She had disappeared in the blink of an eye. And Marek and that old man lived together in that house on the edge of the deep, dark forest for many a year, and a good, peaceful life they had together. And very often on hot days, Marek would take the goats into the forest, into the cool green shadows. But he never saw that flame-haired witch again. I don't know whatever became of her. If you ever see her, will you tell me?